I too want to speak in this motion tonight. The motion proposes the possibility of delivering homes at prices within the reach of working class. The proposal suggests that new homes could be built. It could be sold to eligible buyers for less than 300,000, with the exact price varying based on the size and location of the home. However, the motion does not elaborate on how Sinn Féin plans to deliver a fully constructed home for under 300,000. It's actually fantasy. The motion does mention Sinn Féin's affordable leasehold purchase scheme, where the state could cover all of the land and servicing costs, retain ownership and make additional contributions, and ensures affordable prices for development. But as I said, the motion does not specify who would build these houses. It's unlikely that Sinn Féin TDs would be involved in the construction process, suggesting that the private sector, including builders and contractors across the country, would be responsible. However, if this project is not viable for them, they will not build, and that's simple facts, and Deputy Chairman has just said that. So the obstacles are the obstacles that are there, the blockages that are there include planning permission, planning regulations, new energy regulations, and that drive up costs, and high VAT and other state-imposed costs associated with building a home. The Irish House Builders Association has previously stated that the government takes up to 41%. That's 41% of the total costs in taxes for houses in Dublin and 39% in the country. So round it off at 40%. So where are you going? You're saying that you have an emergency in housing, and we all know you have. But why don't you deal with it and cut 20% off that straight away? But no, you've added costs to it because you've decided to put up the minimum wage. You've decided to have more bank holidays. You've decided to have extra sick days. You've decided to have leave now if there's the stress in the home. Where are you going to stop? Because none of you know what it's like to run a small business, or to be an employer, or to be self-employed, either government or opposition. It's a sad situation. You're just adding costs all the time. These are lovely things to roll out. With Deputy Batchik here last week wanting those 5 days extended to 15 days. How is a small employer, whether it be a plumber, whether it be plasterer, whether it be block layer, whether it be roofer, carpenter, you name it, who was employing 3 or 4 men, going to manage these costs? How in God's name? Just pinch yourself, please, and think of the employer for once. Small employer, maybe employing 5 to 10 people and trying to carry all the costs and labour with all this downright blackguarding of stupid legislation. Looks lovely. Very sexy to sell it to the public, yeah, and for trade unions and the NGOs, of course. But you're not going to have people in the business because they'll be unable to do it because they can't pay, they can't make ends meet. And what happens to the employer then, the small builder, whoever, if he has a problem getting paid, which many do? And they get no mercy from the taxman, unlike RTE, who can get preferential special treatment, have 50 million put away in a contingency fund, maybe to settle with them, but no employer is going to get that. So would you copy yourself on and go into a room and get rid of all the advisors and just go out and meet small builders and understand the problems? Then you have the problem with mica, of course, and the other one, pyrite. And what happens? A major conglomerate qualities caused 95% of that, and they ran off scot-free. You add, is it €5 a tonne to the 5% levy on concrete, driving the cost of houses again. Every whole thing you've done in this government and the last government has added costs and more costs and more costs. Come on to the local authorities then, and Ishkayan. My village of Costello, Gotenbridge, and indeed Lisburnan, Kilsheal, and I could go on and name them all over, Bancha, all over the place. They cannot add any single house because they have no capacity in the sewage plants. Irish Water, you want to see right in the Santa Claus or right in the Mount Everest because it's useless. We have a huge problem with water supplies. In the town of Clonmel, the biggest inland town in the country, we have all these weekend again outages, outages and outages. And Irish Water don't even know where the pipes are. And if when they do know where they are, they won't maintain them or service them. And they're now talking about cutting off a wonderful supply that we have for decades, for generations, from Powlevanug and Cundy Portlauriga, here on Clonmel, up in the mountain. A lovely source of supply and never stops. And now they want to disconnect that and pump the water from the area down into the town and back up the hill again. Kindergarten children wouldn't carry on. There's a lovely reservoir up there as well that is built by the British Army. and built to perfection, and they won't use that. So it's short-sighted, and the government have just set up agencies, the LDA, the Planning Authority, all more, make it more bureaucratic and more cumbersome, and then hand the whole thing over to Irish Water was a major disaster. So you ain't going to build these houses. They're not going to be delivered, and people won't have the homes. Thank you, Conor.